Hey everybody, welcome to another episode of Board Game Heaven Talks Accessories. My name is Raymond, and in this video I'm going to take a look at the Dicetroyers insert for Gloomhaven Jaws of the Lion. A spoiler-free insert, so you don't have to open any of the boxes with the secret content before you get to it. So I'll show you how I put this together, and I'll show you how it all fits inside the box with all the components, and I'll share my final thoughts, of course, as well. But before I start, I would like to ask you to hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. That really helps my channel. I could use lots more subscribers. Most of my views aren't subscribers, so there's plenty of room for growth there. And also, if you'd like to support what I do, go to my Patreon page. The link is in the description below, and you can support me for as little as just €1 per month, and in return you will get access to some Patreon exclusive posts, early access to my videos, and your name in the credits. Alright, let's get started. Right, so this is the Dicetroyers organizer for Gloomhaven Jaws of the Lion, spoiler free, so you don't have to open those packets to store it all. It's designed to fit into the game box, which I have there, so we'll see. Flush closure is guaranteed. Awesome. Right, and here you can see all the items that you will be putting together. And it's very simple. And of course, instructions are also on the website. And here are their different social media and email address. So yeah, let's open this up. You get a bunch of sheets of wood, which I will put down here. And after you take everything out, there's also some instructions. So we have this, which is basically just a sheet. Shows you how it's gonna look. I'll just put that to the side for now. And we have some sheets of instructions here. And looks like they also included another die. With the previous insert I built, one of the, yeah, they do, look at that. There's a die here that you can put together to practice, which is kind of cool. I like that they did that. So I mean, it's simple enough. You don't really need to, but it's fun to have these wooden dice. You end up with a bunch of wooden dice. All right. So yeah, there's just, it shows you what box you're gonna build, the pieces you need for it, and how to put it together, and that's that. And then you move on to the next box, and you just follow these instructions. There are 7 pages. It's very simple. And I'll show you the ones that need a bit of attention. I mean, some of these trays are a bit more complex than just a simple square tray. But all in all, this should be very simple. It even has instructions on how to put everything in the box in the right order. So that's good. All right. So let's take a look at this box. This is a simple one. We'll start with that. That's box A, and that is on sheet DT87A. So let's take a look at these. This is DT87C, so this is the last sheet. This is a B with the die on it. And this is, looks like this is the one I need. So you just punch that out, like so. Just be a bit careful about how you do that. Don't be too rough, or you might break something. These are pretty thin. I mean, the material is nice and thick, but you can still bend it just a little, so just take care. But I've never had any problems just pressing these out. Do I also need these? Yeah, it looks like I do, because the ends are open, which you can see here as well. So, and then this one as well, a little piece in there. All right. And then you simply kind of align them how you want them. There's nothing on the
outside any engraved illustrations or anything. So you can just put them any way you like, and this goes in the middle like that. This goes on the side, this goes on the side, and then these go here on both sides. You can put it together just to see how it will look. And that's that, and then you just add glue. So you take some, some glue that glues wood. I have some wood glue. This is transparent hobby glue, but that works for wood as well, apparently. I used to have the white glue, ran out. But you just apply a little bit of that to the parts you're gonna glue. And that's all you need to do, and then just put it together. You can just hold that for a bit to wait until it sticks. Because these inserts by the Dicetroyer, they get laser cut, like you see here, you see the line. So that means that both pieces will have just a fraction of leeway, because that's the width of the laser cut, basically. So it won't be super tight. So that's why you need to glue it, and why you might need to hold it a bit. So what you can also do is what I often do, and turn things around. So you can apply some pressure on top, get everything in place, and maybe put some weight on it. Wipe off the excess glue. And if you have something heavy close at hand, then you can just put it on top and that'll dry. That's really all there's to it. It's super simple. Just follow the instructions. So here's a little tray that needs a little bit of attention. It's not hard. It's a simple tray, but it has like openings on each side. It's not like a complete wall. And this is for your standees, certain standees with number 4 on them, probably 4, 3, 2, 1, I don't know. But they're small ones. So they made separate kind of trays, so you can pick them out from the sides like this, which is, I think, is very clever. And these are simple to put together, and what I like to do with little fiddly pieces like this, in this case, I'm going to take the center divider, which goes here. I'm going to take that first, and I'm just going to apply some glue to the edges that are going to be connecting, of course. So apply some glue here and there, like that. And it's going to be a bit too much because, you know, blobs of glue. So what I do, I take a little bit of wood, a little piece that was like extra that came off of the sprue, and I'll just dab that in and then apply that to the other edges that also are going to be connecting to the bottom in this case. Because these small edges are usually hard to glue. So having a little bit of wood or whatever at hand to help you with that is quite useful. So I'm going to apply it here everywhere like that. You know, if that's not enough, just apply some more glue. And if it's too much, let's say I put a big old blob here that I really don't need. I don't need that much. Just scrape it off, apply it to the other edges like so. And this should be enough. And I still have some glue here. So I'm going to put this in, and then I'll take the side and just continue with applying that leftover glue. So it doesn't become a mess, because you'll have glue on your fingers and everywhere. So yeah, that works for me. I'll take the other side, apply some glue. I don't have much left, so I'll just do a little dab here. Bloop. There you go. And I'll wipe this off gently and put some here and here. So you don't even really need a brush if you're a bit handy. So then you put that together and you just give that a little squeeze, press that down, and that's that. They're small pieces, so they're not going to warp or bend, and so you don't need to press down the entire tray like the small ones that I made earlier. you have a long rectangular one like this, then the sides may have warped a bit and you need to really press it together for a minute or so. I put some weight, actually put them underneath the box. So I have a couple of trays under here, trays that are the same height. And I put the plastic from the packaging on top of that to prevent the glue from spilling out and sticking to the bottom of the box. And then I put the entire box on it. So that's pressing down nicely. And that just looks really good. And then I'll do the outside last with these very tiny fiddly bits. So I can then turn it around if I need to. So yeah, that's just a tip. Here's another tray that's a bit of a puzzler, but it's easy enough because it has 9 slots for all kinds of stands. You use the sides like this, you just line them up, make sure the like the finger openings where you pick up the pieces are on the outside, of course, and not like this, because that wouldn't work. So this all has to line up. This, of course, can't line up otherwise because they made the slots different sizes, which is great, good engineering. So this can only go like this. And these slots, they kind of show themselves because the slots are all different and there's no other way to put them. I could swap these around and I could swap these around and that wouldn't matter. And I could swap these two around, would also not matter. But this one is unique for this spot and this one is unique for that spot. And you could also turn this around, but you would find that it wouldn't fit with this piece. So it goes in this way. And again, here we have these two and we have this one. So some of these are the same and can be swapped around, doesn't matter. But some of them are unique. So just put it together first, take a good look at it. And then I would suggest start with the center pieces first so that is in place, and then glue the outer pieces like that. So again, you can't really go wrong. Just pay a little bit of attention and everything will be fine. And there you go, that's how you put that together. Lots of small pieces, but it works really well. Just hold it together, and then when you're done, you can just flip it around if you want to. And then put some weight on that. And then you can continue with the next one. Here's a little thing you need to pay attention to, and that's when you're going to assemble this piece, which has, I think, initiative trackers and all kind of tokens that you can put in here. You need you kind of want to glue them together, but there's these slots here that have little connectors, which is this thing. It's very tiny, and it's easy to miss on the sprue, but they're over here. There's 2 next to each other like this. So be careful when you're pressing out the components here, that you don't miss these 2 and toss away the sprue, because then you won't have anything to fill these gaps with. So just pay attention to that and you'll be fine. And I've already finished all the rest, so we'll do a reboxing. Right, so I've put everything together as you can see, and we're gonna put everything back in a box where it belongs. So first of all, you're just gonna put these big envelopes on top of each other in a corner of the box, and you take all of these little boxes with the minis and secret stuff, and you put them all next to them, just like that. All right, that's how you start. Then you have this tray, and I love that they engraved all of the icons on the bottom so you can see which tokens go where. So I've already sorted them, so you can simply put those where they belong, like that, and put that on top of that. So there you go, put all of those in and just put that on top. So now the rest of the box is, of course, the cards. So we have this card tray here, and I just took them out of the shrink and put them in. You can sleeve them. There is room for sleeving. As you can see, it's almost double the size than what you need, and there is some space sideways as well. Not a whole bunch, so get some, you know, preferably tight fitting sleeves. But you can see that there is some room here. I just put these dividers in with them. I don't know where exactly I need to put them, but I'll figure that out later. And you put that in as well, and I suggest, as the instructions also show you, to put them facing the wall with the back in the middle. Then you have the tray with all of these bigger standees, and they are also engraved on the bottom so you can see which shapes go where. And this big one has this big standee as well as these unique ones, the bigger ones, and the rest have multiple copies of each stand. So they just go here. This is how you divide them, and you put that next to the cards. So be careful when putting that in so that doesn't fall out of your hands. That goes there. Then you have several trays, and these again have shapes engraved in the bottom. These are the rubble, the destruction tiles, and they go basically in these 3 slots, but I was able to fit them in 2. So you have 1 slot free. These go here, the treasure chests go here, the traps go here, and these exclamation mark tokens go here. And again, you can see that they have engraved them on the bottom, so you can tell what goes where. So you simply put that on top as well. There you go. And then we have a tray with the smaller standees, which have 10 of each. So you just put all of those in like this, and that goes next to that tray. They're all equally tall. And then this tray is very handy as well, which has the Dicetroyers logo, have all the hit point, the health markers. So again, on the bottom it will say 1, 3, and 10, and you can easily take them out because of this slot here. So that's great as well. This works really well. You can just put that on the table. And I love that. All of these things, just take them out, put them on the table, and you're ready to go. Then we have a tray with the bigger cards. I just put this divider in here. It's probably not going to see any use. These are actually still in shrink. But you can divide them up in these 2 if you sleeve them. And that just goes on top of that. And we have another shallow tray for the coins, which also has a number 1 coin engraved, a couple actually on the bottom. So you just put those in here, and that goes next to that. So that all fits really nicely. So then we have some room left. So you can either put this on top of that first, or these trays. So I got this tray, which again have these envelopes. It's also engraved on the bottom, and these monster cards. So that goes in here, and you can easily take them out. So that's great. Let's put that on top. And then there's another tray for all the stands. And it's just not wide enough to have all of these next to each other. So one of them will have to overlap, as you can see here. I couldn't fit them next to each other, and you have to put 2 upside down. There's just enough room for all of them -2, but you just toss them in basically, and that'll fit. And the odd thing is that when you put them next to this, you can see that there's actually some room left there, like the width of 1 divider. So I guess they made a little calculation error there, and if they had made it 1 wider, like 3 millimeters wider, then these would have actually fit next to each other, but it doesn't really matter. It fits, that's fine. All right, so that goes there. Then you have this tile, which they tell you to put on top of this. I can just fit it in. It's very tight. It pushes against this wall and the box. So it's like a millimeter that it could have used. See, if I just put it in like that, it will be on top of this, and then I slide this to the left, and then I just have to kind of push it in. But it does fit. It does fit. It's not a big deal, but that could have also, yeah, used a little bit of finesse perhaps. So then we have all of these tokens, these initiative tokens for your heroes, and oh, this is a bad guy, and this is a good guy, and these monsters. So a bunch of those red ones, and I couldn't really find a spot to put them. These as well, but they suggest they just put them. You just put them in here, and again, this initiative track has nice engravings, so you know what to put where. And if you have the edition with the smaller initiative tiles, they have included these things, kind of like adapters, which you just put in here like that, and then they will hold the small tiles. All right, so keep these, don't glue them, but keep these separate somewhere, maybe in the box if you want to. But if you have the big ones, you know, should you ever get the big ones, then you can just take these out. And I imagine you'll probably want to keep these because they're much nicer to have. This is an enemy. And I'm just going to put the heroes next to each other here. And then put the enemies in the other slots wherever there's space. So we're going to take them out when we play. So that's the only thing you kind of need to do. But you can just, you know, literally just flip it over, have them all out. But yeah, that's something you need to do. You're going to have to put all of these in for storage. But this is a really nice item, nice little extra to have, this initiative track. And then of course these tiles go wherever the icon sits. So this goes here, this goes here, the star goes here, the moons go here, and the snowflake goes here. So there you go. And you can put all of that on top of that. And there you go. So I'm gonna keep these separate. And then we have the rest, of course, of the box, and we can do away with all these Ziploc bags, which was a pain. So that's great. So yeah, I had this card. I'm just gonna put that in. I have a board. I have a second board. I don't know why I have a second board, but I do. So I can put stickers on one and just keep the other one fresh. We have the Learn to Play guide. Welcome to Gloomhaven. Yeah. The big rule book, basically. I have a removable sticker set, which I got. The original stickers. So you just put all of that on top, which leaves you with the supplemental scenario book, which I will put upside down. So the rings are on the other side and the scenario book here. And that is everything. And that just fits in the box, but you do still need to put these on top in the middle between the rings, basically, which also just fits because this is a little bit deeper than the rings are. And that's that. And then everything is in the box. And yes, indeed, as advertised, it is completely flush, which is nice, which I like. And then I can get rid of this plastic insert, which was also kind of fiddly and very cramped, and everything was stuffed in Ziploc bags. So definitely an improvement there.
So my final thoughts on the Gloomhaven Jaws of the Lion organizer by the Dicetroyers. Well, as you've seen, it was pretty easy to build. It was easy to put together. Everything makes sense a lot when you put it together. You can't really go wrong with putting dividers in the wrong spaces because they cleverly designed it so that it kind of follows itself. And I like that you have all of these separate trays for all of these components that you can just take out, put on the table, and have everything within, you know, hand's reach easily. and everything has its own spot. They've cleverly designed it so that, you know, everything fits nicely. The box is still flush. You don't have to open the packets to, you know, divide the contents. So you just keep that in there, as well as the minis in their boxes, etc. And you can just have all of these standees in their separate spots, easily available. And I love that you have like the health tokens here in 3 separate slots for their different denominations. Also, you can easily pass that around, just put it on the table. Same for the coins that you have. And there's even card trays. So you know, you have this handy dandy card tray that you just put on the table. You shuffle the cards, put them in there, even sleeved, and then you just draw cards from there. And that works really well. And yeah, it's lovely. And the way they also printed on the front of this, for example, and on the bottom of the trays, what goes where, makes it very easy to put everything back if you ever forget what goes where. So it's all there, even with these tiny little tokens that have all of these icons printed in the bottom. It just works really well. So all in all, I'm quite happy with it. It is definitely an improvement over the plastic insert that came with the game. Makes it much more easy to take everything out quickly, put it on the table, get ready to go, which is perfect. Makes the setup for this game even faster. So yeah, I'd like to thank the Dicetroyers for sending this over to review. I would definitely recommend getting this if you have this game and you played a lot and you just want to save some time on the setup and the teardown of the game. It's available online. I'll put the link in the description below so you can go and check it out for yourself. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please give it a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already, and also please check out my Patreon page by clicking the link in the description below or the icon at the end of this video. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time on Board Game Heaven.